here we are, the first anthology of the entire Star Wars non-saga at this point, and by gosh, I actually enjoyed it. It's one of the best Star Wars movies ever, so yay!
Jyn, whatever I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
You want to get out of here?
Our rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire. We think you might be able to help us.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this? It appears he is critical to the development of a super weapon.
If my father built this thing, we need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
They are requesting a call sign.
It's, Rogue. Rogue One.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope. They've no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The Force is strong. Make 10 men feel like 100.
We'll take the next chance. And the next. You're all rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
Hi guys, Joshua Lowy here with another episode of My Thoughts. Today we're going to we'll discuss my thoughts on the new movie that came out early on this month, the 16th. The new Star Wars movie, first anthology movie, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Like usual, we're going to just talk about the movie without getting into spoilers. We'll get into that later. Yeah, I saw the movie yesterday on the 18th. Today, it's the 19th. And when it goes up, it'll probably be the 20th, knowing me, or the 21st. The reason I held off is because when I got in I was tired, and also I wanted to see how people were liking the movie, and they liked it very much. And plus I couldn't be asked recording it at that moment yesterday, and it gave you a bit more time to go see the movie. But that all the way, let's get into it. We're going to talk about some characters, but bear in mind, I don't remember all the names, the character names, or the actors' names. Like it looks like a strange, but hey, at least I'm not leaving it like way until later. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically, we'll get into the kind of what the sum up what basically the movie's about. The movie follows Jyn Erso as I guess a thief, more or less. I don't know. I guess you can say she's that. And she's recruited by the rebellion to find her father, who is in charge of making the super weapon for the Empire, the Death Star, and it's her job to find him and find out how to stop and destroy the Death Star by stealing the plans for the Death Star that her father made. And along the way she meets all these other characters that assist her on her mission, and then we have a movie. That's basically more or less what it is, without going into spoilers. We'll go after that. I love this movie. It's great, just as good as Force Awakens. I wouldn't say it's like the best Star Wars movie ever, but I don't know if I would say it's better than Force Awakens or not. I would have to watch them side by side. And I actually went on a Star Wars marathon, more or less, by watching Episode 1, Episode 2, the Clone Wars movie, the first 10 episodes of the Clone Wars series, because that's all I have, unfortunately, and then I saw Rogue One. No, I know, before that I saw Episode 3, then I saw Rogue One, so, yeah. Nothing to do with it. Anyway, sorry about that, I'm back on track. So yeah, I like this movie. It's a great addition to the Star Wars franchise. Now that this is more or less a success, hopefully they will make more anthology movies after Han Solo, after the unnamed anthology movie, which is either a Boba Fett movie, an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, or a Yoda movie. Let's get into the characters quickly. Jyn Erso, played by... fuck, I always confuse the real name with her character. Come on, what was it? Fuck! Felicity Jones! There we go, Felicity Jones playing Jyn Erso. Does a really good job in this movie with that character. Because it's not really easy introducing a new character that's not been established in old canon or in this canon, because this is their first appearance, and it's really rare that actually manages to be pulled off, and she pulls off wonderfully in this movie. Her journey's cool, her character's cool, she just does a good job. Not much to say about her without going into spoilers again. Max Mikkelsen as Jyn's father. I forget his name, his character's name, I just know it's her father. He does a pretty good job, and if you remember back in my thoughts on Doctor Strange, because Max Mikkelsen was in that one, he played Caecilius, the bad guy. In this one, I kind of like him a bit better in this. I still like his role in Doctor Strange. From these two movies that I've seen him in, yeah, he acts really well in this movie. I really want to see what other movies he's in, actually. But the problem is, it's probably in stuff that really doesn't interest me, like non-comic book stuff, non-Star Wars stuff, a lot of other stuff I'm into. I'm not going to go on the list, otherwise we'll be here all day. But otherwise, yeah, did a pretty good job in this movie. Spectacular. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the droid, because I don't remember his name. Which is really bad, because he was one of my favorite characters in the entire movie. Yeah, basically just think of him as like R2-D2, if you could actually understand him. He is pretty much as he's been described on internet sources and what you've seen in the trailers. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He has a pretty good arc, I suppose, and his design is awesome, and the things that he does in this movie, ugh, wow. That sounded like I really didn't like what he did in the movie. I'm so sorry about that. I'm just, whoa. It's been a long day thus far. I really liked him in this movie. And the actor who portrayed him, which I can't remember, but even though I've seen his face before, and I kind of like it, and I really like his work, I just don't remember his name at this moment in time, which is really going to piss me off when I watch this back. Like, it's this, for God's sake! His name is this! You fucker! Yeah, cool character. Next one we're going to talk about is the rebel spy guy. I forget his name. Well, I also forget the actor who plays him. He does a pretty good job. He's one of the interesting characters in the movie. Yeah, in the movie, he's like because in this movie, the rebels and Empire is like, okay, rebels good guys, Empire bad guys, obviously. But in this movie, it's kind of like a shade of grey. Like, well, not everybody in Empire is a bad guy. Not everybody in the rebels are good guys. So there you go. It's not saying that the rebels are portrayed as complete assholes. It's just that in war, you have to make tough calls, and this character does make tough calls. We'll go into more detail about that later. He's great in this movie. It sucks I don't know his name or remember his name. It will come to me as soon as I get the DVD and Blu-ray or whatever the hell I'm going to get it on. Then I can remember and be like, oh, let me go into detail then. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to put 2 characters in this one. No, actually, make it 1 because, it makes it more simpler. The blind guy. I'm so sorry. They said their names. I could remember the names at the time, but right now I'm drawing a blank, so I'm so sorry. So sorry. He's great in this movie. He's not a Jedi, but he is a strong believer in the Force, and I guess can be Force sensitive in the movie. You guys pretty much saw that in the trailers. You saw what he did in the trailer? Yeah, that's basically what he did. He's great. I like the actor who portrays him. That was pretty cool. I like in this movie that there's not really any Jedis in this. Like, at all. It's just a bunch of soldiers going into battle to try and save the galaxy without the help of the Jedi. I like that, and this character is a good mixture of them. He's not a Jedi, but he is a strong believer in the Jedi and the Force. And this segues nicely into his companion. I don't know his name either. God damn it! His name begins with a J, don't it? I don't know. Fuck. Well, he's good in this movie as well. He's basically more or less the muscle for the two. Just imagine if, like, again, the R2-D2 and C-3PO thing. Imagine that both of them could kick some major ass. He has a pretty good character arc as well, because he's not really a strong believer in the Force, but he is definitely good friends, because those two are like, I guess strong believers in the Force, but one believes it more, one just kind of like Han Solo, I suppose. Not really, not too much as like he doesn't believe in it, or he's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So yeah, those two characters are pretty cool. Let's go into the villains quickly, and then we'll probably go into the side characters. The villains, Krennic, played by... God damn it. I don't know his name either, the actor's name either, but he does a pretty good job portraying this character. Pretty great villain as well. I mean, I was a bit shook, like, well, he's going to be a forgetful character. And he's not. He's actually a pretty good character. Krennic is involved in making the Death Star. And, yeah, he possibly made was involved in making one of the deadliest killing machines in all the galaxy. So good job, Krennic. Good job. He's definitely a good foil for the Rebels and Jyn Erso. Not much to say about him without going into spoilers. I guess I can mention quickly Darth Vader, because you saw him in the trailers, you saw him in the TV spots. He is in the movie, but he's not the main focus, and he's not in the movie as much as you think. Think of it as like the Spider-Man in Civil War, but a bit shorter. He does play a role in it, but he's not the main thing that holds the movie together. He's just kind of there. which is great because we really basically because if we wanted that, it would be a Darth Vader movie at that point, and we already had a Darth Vader movie. It was called the prequels. Technically, they were Darth Vader movies. Technically, they weren't though, but technically they were. I don't know. Debate that in the comment section. I don't know. So yeah, I don't want to go into much detail of him. Because I'll save it for later. I guess we can discuss. Oh, and let's go into one of the side characters, like Mark Martha. I hope I said that right. He's portrayed by the actress who portrayed her in Episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith. Well, unfortunately, those scenes of her were cut. So, yeah, unless you own the DVD, then you never saw her. She does a pretty good job in this movie as well. Yeah, not much to say about her. I mean, nothing really stood out to me with the character. Like, cool, my Martha's in there. That's pretty awesome. The actress portrayed her well, and yeah, not much to say about that. I guess we also go into the design of this movie. The design for this movie is awesome. It really feels like you've really went back in time, more or less, to the original Star Wars trilogy. Like, the X-Wings are, well, basically the way they looked from A New Hope. Yavin looks exactly the same, more or less. The Stormtrooper's armor, well, obviously looks like the original Stormtrooper armor, not the ones you see him in The Force Awakens. You can definitely tell that these kind of armor are much more dirtier and have actually gone through a lot throughout the time that they've been fighting the rebels. What else to mention about going into spoilers? The CG looks pretty good. There's definitely practical work in there, but there's also a fair use of CG, which is good. You want to mix and match and not actually make it like, okay, we're going to put you behind a blue screen for the majority of the movie, and then there you go, there's Star Wars. No, we actually build sets and actually go on location and film the majority of the movie. So that's pretty cool. What else to mention before I actually get pissed that I forgot to mention it? I guess that's about it for non-spoilers. So, yeah, quick summary. Like the movie. You guys go watch it. Don't know how long it's going to be in theaters for. In the UK and in the US. Anywhere else it's being shown. How much it's going to make? Not as much as Force Awakens, because it doesn't have like the main characters in it, and not starring. Really, it's focused on basically new characters without the help of old characters. Yeah, so I would say go watch it if you want to see a good Star Wars movie. If you didn't like Force Awakens, go check out this one. But I think everyone more or less liked Force Awakens, or at least satisfied with it. You'll enjoy this movie. It is the first war movie that feels like a war movie. That's how it really works. The first Star Wars movie that feels like a war movie. There you go. That kind of makes more sense. And it's a lot darker as well. So, I mean, not like, oh, there's blood and guts everywhere. No, it's nothing like that. You can never take your kids to this. It's just not like, it's not your typical Star Wars movie. Let's just say that. So yeah, I like the movie very much. So go ahead, watch it, and we're on the spoilers now. So click away. We don't give a shit. Welcome. Okay, what do we go into first without going straight to the awesome stuff? Let's start off small. Extremely small. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just get into it. First of all, Grand Moff Tarkin is in the movie. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, how is that possible? I mean, isn't the actor who played him, Peter Cushing, dead? Yes, but he's still in the movie anyway. Like, you see him, it's fucking Peter Cushing. It's fucking Peter Cushing. They see, okay, basically, you know what they did in Fast and the Furious 7? When Paul Walker died and they filmed the final scene with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker's brother. They CGI'd his face and made Paul Walker there, and it was really realistic. Well, basically it's the same thing here. Only, I have to describe it. It's more noticeable. Like, you can tell it's CG. But it looks... The CG is good, but you can still tell it's CG. It's not terrible CG, like absolutely horrible. It can be funny, because it was funny when I saw it, and a bit weird. But the guy, whoever did the voice for Peter Cushing was like, extremely good. Like, it was almost like if he, Peter Cushing was definitely doing the voiceover if he couldn't act in it. It's almost like a David Prowse moment when you know the voice of Darth Vader when someone else in the Darth Vader suit. It's almost like that kind of situation, but only it's not Peter Cushing's voice, but it sounds remarkably like him. So whoever did that, props to you. So yeah, wow, that was pretty good. And he's in the movie. He's a big part, and they explain a few things in that, but we'll get into that in a minute. Another classic Star Wars character that makes an appearance is Princess Leia. Young Princess Leia. I think they actually did get Carrie Fisher, I think, but I really doubt it. So they got young Princess Leia. They CG'd her face to make her look like young Carrie Fisher. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. It's moderately the same. She's only in the very last scene of the movie. And it really leads into A New Hope, like a couple of minutes later. So, yeah. Oh, let's go into the thing that I was really impressed with. I'm pretty sure the majority of us were impressed with. You know all the jokes about, well, the Death Star was one of the most powerful weapons of all. Why does this tiny little hole thing, like this tiny design flaw that the Empire overlooked, destroy the entire station and they don't bother to cover it up or fix it? Well, that's because they didn't know about it. Jyn Erso's father deliberately designed a flaw in it that the Empire didn't know about, so the rebels could have a chance to destroy it. So all the jokes about the Empire just think, they will never get to it, don't worry about it, or never mentioning it, and making it basically the butt of all jokes. Yeah, that was on purpose. So props on you, people on Rogue One. Props to you. It makes lots of sense now, but how do you explain the second Death Star? Did they follow the same plans again? I guess the second one, it wasn't fully complete, so they could easily get into the main core. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but how do you explain Starkiller Base, which someone pointed out, like, yeah, did they follow the same designs, or was it kind of like, was it not finished, was it fully operational? That's bullshit, it was fully operational. So, that's a bit weird, but hey, at least they explained the first Death Star, and that kind of makes sense. With Force Awakens, it's like totally a tribute to, and a blatant copy, more or less, of A New Hope, but I still love the movie, love it. Yeah, I like that detail of that shows true dedication to true Star Wars fans. What else to mention? Obviously, Jyn Erso's in the flashback, Jyn's mom dies, and after giving her like one of the kyber crystals, that the Death Star is powered by kyber crystals from Jeddah, the planet Jeddah. Jyn also has a necklace of kyber crystal that powers a lightsaber, not just the Death Star. And, not the Death Star itself, but the main laser, And the laser does fire 2 times in the movie, but it doesn't destroy a planet. And I found that really strange, like, So, in A New Hope, this wasn't the first time they fired the cannon. Because I thought in that movie it was the first time they ever tested the actual weapon, but no, they have tested it on Jeddah. They destroyed an entire town, city, village, whatever you want to call it, basically killing everybody. And the guy from the Clone Wars, which I forgot to mention, who does a pretty good job in this movie. I'm sorry, I haven't watched the this episode where he gets introduced. I think it's season 5 that character's introduced in Clone Wars. Yeah, he dies, which I'm pretty sure we all saw coming if you saw the teaser trailers and all that. Sorry. And, yeah, I mean, we saw it coming, but it was still surprising. Even though you could see stuff coming from a mile away, if it's done right, and you draw a connection with that character, or that specific thing, it really suckers you in. Like, oh, I saw that coming, but damn, it's still surprising. Darth Vader, we're going to Darth Vader. He, as I said before, he has a tiny role, but a big one at the same time. Like, Krennic goes to confront him and talk about the Death Star, and, they, they're chatting it up, like, Vader kind of disapproving about the Death Star and saying it's nothing compared to the power of the Force, more or less. And he's like, oh, you got to go ahead, go on, just stop the rebels and all that, more or less, maybe paraphrasing. He said something like that, I think. And Krennic's like, oh, does this mean I still have control over the Death Star because Grim of Tarkin took it over and said it's his, even though I it's mine. And then Vader's like choking him and all that, and he's like, he turns, like, that shot in the trailer where he turns and says, try not to choke in your respirators. Something like that, anyway. He said something like that. I might be paraphrasing again. So yeah, kind of punny. But you know what? I like it because he sounds like Darth Vader when he says that. And plus, he said things like that before in like the extended canon, both old and kind of new as well. And then the next scene he's involved in is near the end of the movie, where his ship comes in, because they do eventually send the plans to like the big Republic ship, and go and try and make an escape. And then Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, one from New Hope, that shows up and starts attacking the ship. And then like he makes his way on board, and like these rebel soldiers are trying to get the plans to like Princess Leia, and like the lights go out, and then all they can hear is, and you can hear that for like a couple of moments, and then his lightsaber activates, and it just like, it's the only light more or less in the entire area, and then Vader just goes to town and just slaughters all those soldiers with his lightsaber. He pushes one up on the roof, continues on his assault, blocking a bunch of laser fire, stabbing, slashing, and then crushing windpipes and all that. And then, like, all the while, this one guy is like, get us out of here! Get us out of here! And then, like, Vader's getting closer and he kills more and more, and then he's going to kill the guy who has the plans, and he's like, take the plans, take it! Like, straight through the door, and then Vader runs him through with the lightsaber, and then they make their escape in the ship that Leia's in, and then Vader looks all menacing and all that, and he's looking out to it. It was a cool scene. It was an awesome scene. Vader, that was the best Vader moment. You never seen Vader be that brutal before in a movie, ever. Because when you see him in New Hope, he's menacing, but we never got to that factor where he slaughters a bunch of people in a battle. You only see that in video games, comic books, and occasionally hear about it in the books, because you can't see it in the books. That's almost, because Jeremy Johns, another reviewer, basically, I think he said this anyway, it's almost like a fan fiction when Darth Vader comes out and battles these guys and then slaughters them all. It's almost like that. I think he said that. Someone said that on the internet, I don't know. Post down below who said that. Don't say you. It's not you. I should know. But yeah, that was cool. I guess this is the biggest to mention, but the big thing that I found really surprising, but saw coming from a mile away. All of my main cast, as well as Krennic. Oh, before we get to that, Bail Organa's in the movie, and it's old Bail Organa, and we see him, and he's like helping out the rebels when he can. And I think there's a couple of references to Rebels, the TV show. Like we see the droid, who I forget the name of. We hear the name of the Twi'lek captain, I think. The female from the Rebels. and we see the ship from Rebels, I think, for a brief moment. I didn't see it until someone pointed it out when, like, on a review or something. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Again, Bail Organa, there's other references like Mom Martha and Bail Organa are talking, and like she says to we could really use some more help. Like your friend from the Clone Wars, he could be a good help. You gotta go find him. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm gonna send her to go find him and give the plan and so you can help out with the plans and all that. And she's like, can you trust her? And he's like, I would trust her with my life. And he's on his way back to Alderaan, which of course that means he was on Alderaan. Yeah, he did die in Episode 4. And of course the key person they're talking about is Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was on Tatooine. So I guess the idea is they knew exactly where he was, so they just went to that planet and it wasn't convenient. That it? Is there anything else I have to mention? No. Well, anything else before I have to mention the main thing? No. Let's get into the main thing I was going to talk about. About the main cast and besides Critic, who obviously dies at the end of the movie. All the main cast members, the new characters, die. Like the droid's the first one to go, then the blind guy, then the Imperial TIE Fighter guy, then the blind guy's friend, then Jyn Erso and the badass rebel spy guy. Because the Death Star blows up the entire Imperial command post and kill all of them, but that's after they send out the plans to Leia and all that. I'm like, wow, I saw that come from a mile away, but I'm surprised that you didn't at least let one live. Because all the rebel forces on the ground are all dead. All of them. And I was like, wow. And my brother said this. He pointed it out to me on when the movie was over. He said to me, that's really ballsy. Instead of cashing. He said something like cashing in on these characters and making sequels about it. And I'm like, yeah, it is surprising. It is really surprising, which I can give mad respects to. And that was totally surprising, even though we all kind of knew that some of them weren't going to make it out alive, but I had no idea that all of them were going to die. Really. I mean, maybe half of them were presumed dead, but no, they're fucking dead. So that theory about Jyn Erso being Rey's mother, out the window. So, yeah, that will throw me through a loop. Not a depressing ending per se, even though all the characters die, that we grow to love, which is, So, yeah. I think that's about it about Rogue One. I can't remember anything else, once again, until I remember something else. Fuck, why did I mention that? Oh. Rogue One is a great movie. Now I am super excited to go watch Episode 8, so just so we can continue. And then after that we got Han Solo and Episode 9. Yeah, and the unknown anthology movie. So yeah, it's good. You have to be a Star Wars fan. It's a good time to be alive to be a Star Wars fan. So yeah, I've seen basically every movie that I wanted to see this year. I saw Deadpool. I've seen Batman v Superman, Captain America Civil War, the X-Men Apocalypse, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. I know, right? Suicide Squad, Doctor Strange, and last but not least, obviously, Rogue One. I have not seen the new Ghostbusters, but I do have it now, and I have not seen the new Independence Day movie. I'm sorry. So yeah, 2016, pretty good year. 2017, probably going to be even a better year. Maybe DC will finally get the critics' love, and basically everyone fanboying out about their favorite characters coming to life, and the MCU continuing to impress. And of course a new Star Wars movie, and yeah. And plus a Spider-Man movie and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my god, I can't wait for that, can you? So yeah, and I like the fact that I only have done my thoughts on Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. What else did I put my thoughts on? Wait. Doctor Strange. Suicide Squad. And Rogue One. So like I did my thoughts on 4 new movies this year. But I have got Civil War. I'm gonna do my thoughts on it anytime I want. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts video. Hopefully it didn't go on for too long. Yikes. Please don't mind it. You'll watch it somehow, right? Yeah, nothing else too much to say about it right now. Plus it's really late. I'm nearly going to go to bed now. And then I can prepare for Christmas. But by the way, again, it's on the 19th today. And it's like, really 5 days to go, more or less, depending when I upload this. Until Christmas. So yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Have a Merry Kwanzaa. Happy holidays, everybody. Here's your Christmas video. I can't decide if I'm going to do a video on Christmas Day or something, or something else entirely different. I don't know. I'll figure something out, right? And then again, at the end of the year, I'll do a channel update again, tell you what's coming out, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Rogue One, great movie. Definitely up there as one of the favorite Star Wars movies now. Can't wait to own it. Cannot wait. So with that being said, post a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Fuck that up a bit. Oh well. And did you enjoy it? And who was your favorite character in it? And what are you looking forward to seeing next year? And if you want to see my thoughts on anything else, let me know down below as well. Leave a like, and of course, subscribe to me. I'm Joshua Laurie. Good day and good night. Take care. May the Force be with you. Alright, there was no opening text scroll, was there? Forgot to mention that. Oh well. I'm sure they can get over it.